Hello, I'm Miranda, and welcome to my new Space Hulk series. I've got my opponent here today.
Hi, my name's Dylan, and we're going to play the first mission in the book, Beachhead.
The board is set, and 2 Genestealer blips are placed on each of the 5 rooms. The Genestealer only gets 3 AP for the first 2 rounds. The first squad consists of Brother Valencio, Brother Zale, Brother Noctis, and Brother Dano. Their leader is Sergeant Lorenzo. The second squad contains Brother Leon, Brother Omnio, Brother Scipio, and Brother Goriel. Their leader is Sergeant Gideon. The win conditions for the Space Marines is to make it to the end of the game with no Genestealers in any of the rooms, while keeping at least 8 Marines alive.
The Genestealers win if they reduce the number of Space Marines to 4 or less. Any other result is a draw.
And with that, let's start round 1. The Space Marines roll to see where they access the ship. They start in the west hallway. Brother Valencio enters the hallway and turns to shoot the west door. He needs a 6 to destroy the door, which is successful. Brother Valencio turns back to the closest door and shoots, but fails to destroy it. He spends his final AP to simply open the door. I spend a command point to move the Marine 1 more square. Brother Zale enters the hallway, faces the west, and uses a command point to fire the heavy flamer into the far room. This catches 2 blips. On a roll of 2 or higher, the blip dies. The flamer destroys 2 Genestealers, and the west room is secure. I spend 1 more command point to move Brother Zale another square. Brother Noctis enters the hallway and spends 2 command points to move 2 more squares. Brother Dano moves up into the hallway. I spend another command point to turn Brother Dano. Finally, Sergeant Lorenzo activates and moves up to the edge of the boarding torpedo. The first blip in the center west room opens a door and moves into the hallway. The next blip will stay where it is. A blip in the north room enters a door and moves into the west hallway. The next blip does the same and enters the east hallway. The blip in the center east room also opens a door and heads north. The next blip stays where it is. The east room blip opens the north door and enters the hallway. The second blip stays where it is. The heavy flamer template is removed. We now reveal command points and move to turn 2. Round 2. I pull a command point token, but didn't like the result. As long as I have a sergeant on the board, I can redraw my command token. I pull a new token and lay it on the mission status display. I roll to see where the next boarding torpedo enters. We have the center room. Brother Valencio moves up the north hallway and shoots at the door ahead. He needs a 6 to destroy the door. The door is destroyed. Brother Valencio moves up again and shoots at the next door, which is successful. With his final 2 AP, he goes on overwatch. Brother Noctis moves east and shoots the door, but he does not destroy it. He shoots again. With sustained fire, he only needs a 5 or 6 to succeed, but the door remains. I spend a 3rd AP to shoot again, and still miss. The last AP is spent to shoot again, and this time the door is destroyed. Brother Leon from the new boarding party enters the room and turns east. I spend 2 command points to put him on overwatch with the assault cannon. Brother Zale moves 4 squares down the west hallway. Brother Dano turns to follow Brother Zale. Sergeant Lorenzo enters the hall and follows Brother Valencio. He then goes on overwatch. Brother Omnio enters the hall and turns toward the east hallway. Brother Scipio enters the hallway. Brother Goriel follows up, as does Sergeant Gideon. The blip in the center west hall closes the door behind him and moves down the hall. The second blip stays. The blip in the northwest hall closes the door and moves down the hall. The blip in the northeast hallway moves 3 squares. The next blip closes the door and proceeds toward the north room. The blip in the center east room stays where he is. The blip in the east room also stays, and the next blip closes the door and moves north 2 squares. We remove the Overwatch tokens. We reveal the command points and move the turn counter to turn 3. Round 3. A new command point token is pulled, but again I don't like it, so I redraw and place the new token on the mission status display. Brother Leon advances 4 squares toward the east room. I spend 2 command points to put him on Overwatch. Brother Omnio follows Brother Leon, then turns toward the door. Brother Zale enters the west room and spends a command point to turn north. Brother Dano follows Brother Zale. Brother Noctis moves down the east hallway, following Brother Leon and Omnio. Brother Scipio enters the room and heads west. Brother Goriel also enters and heads west. Sergeant Gideon enters the hall and turns east. Sergeant Lorenzo goes on Overwatch, as does Brother Valencio. The blip in the center west hallway moves up to the corner. The blip in the center west room stays where he is. The blip in the northwest hallway moves up 6 squares toward the door. The next blip in the hall stays, and the blip in the center east room stays. The blip in the northeast hall moves toward the door. The next blip makes his way to the center east room. The blip in the east room stays. Overwatch tokens are removed, and the command points are revealed. Round 4. A command point token is pulled and placed on the mission status display. Brother Zale advances 1 square and spends his second AP to open the door. He then turns and moves out of the way for Brother Dano. Brother Dano enters the room, turns and shoots at the far north door. He needs a 6 and does not destroy the door. I spent a command point along with his last AP to go on Overwatch. Brother Leon moves 2 squares and goes on Overwatch. Brother Valencio moves 4 squares up to enter the center west room. I spend a command point to turn and shoot at the Gene Stealer, which now reveals them. Since I revealed the blip, I can choose facing. The Gene Stealer is facing the wall. Brother Valencio needs a 6 to hit and makes it. The Gene Stealer is killed. Sergeant Lorenzo moves up to follow Brother Valencio. Brother Omnio spends an AP to open the door. He moves up a square and shoots the door. He needs a 6, but fails to destroy. Brother Omnio moves up again and shoots, and destroys the door this time. I spend a command point combined with his last AP to put Brother Omnio in Overwatch. Brother Noctis moves to follow Brother Omnio. Sergeant Gideon moves 4 squares down the East Hall to follow Brother Leon. Brother Scipio goes down the West Hall and turns to follow Sergeant Lorenzo. Brother Goriel turns around and decides to support the East Sector. A reinforcement arrives and lurks at the Northwest access port. The blip in the Center-West hallway heads back to the room with Brother Valencio. The blip in the Northwest hallway stays where he is. The blip in the center corridors passes the North room and closes in on Brother Valencio. The blip in the Center-East room stays where he is. The blip in the East room also stays. The blip in the Center-East hallway stays where he is. The blip in the Northeast hall stays. The reinforcement blip enters the North room. We remove Overwatch tokens and reveal the command points for the round. Round 5. A new command token is pulled, but I use my Sergeant ability to redraw. The new token is placed on the mission status display. Brother Valencio turns and moves to the center of the room, then turns and shoots at the door. He needs a 6 to make it, and the door is destroyed, revealing a blip with 3 Gene Stealers. I choose their facing. Brother Valencio spends his last AP to fire at the Gene Stealers. Needing a 6, he makes it. The first Gene Stealer is killed. I spend a command point to fire again. This time I miss. I spend another command point to fire again, and this time I make it. I spend 1 more AP to move and shoot with Brother Valencio. Again, I need a 6 to hit and miss. Sergeant Lorenzo moves up and goes on Overwatch. Brother Dano moves up and shoots at the far north door again. He needs a 6 and misses. He moves up again and shoots, but still misses. He moves again, shoots, but still can't kill that door. He moves up 1 more square and shoots, but still cannot destroy the door. Brother Zale spends 2 AP to turn around, and the remaining 2 AP to move toward the north hallway. Brother Scipio moves up the hallway towards Sergeant Lorenzo. Brother Omnio moves up the hall toward the center-east room and goes into Overwatch. Brother Leon moves up and goes into Overwatch, facing the east room. Sergeant Gideon follows up behind Brother Leon. Brother Noctis follows behind Brother Omnio. Brother Goriel heads toward the hallway leading to the center-east room. A Gene Stealer reinforcement arrives at the north port of entry. The blip in the northwest hallway stays. The revealed Gene Stealer turns around for 1 AP and heads toward Brother Valencio. His 4th AP is spent to attack Brother Valencio. The Gene Stealer gets 3 dice and the Space Marine gets 1. High roll wins, and Valencio dies. The blip in the hallway ahead of Sergeant Lorenzo stays. The next blip makes his way south to the center corridors. The new reinforcement blip enters the ship and makes his way to the north room. The blip in the center-east room stays. The blip in the center-east hallway stays. The blip in the northeast hallway stays. And the blip in the east room stays. Overwatch tokens are removed from the Space Marines. The command point token is revealed, and we move on to the next turn. Round 6. A new command token is pulled and placed on the mission status display. Brother Dano moves up and shoots the north door again. The shot fails to destroy the door. He moves up and shoots again, determined. This time, the door is destroyed. Brother Dano spends his last 2 AP to move up 2 squares. Brother Zale moves up 4 squares. Sergeant Lorenzo turns and shoots at the Gene Stealer. He needs a 6 and makes it. The sergeant then moves out of the way of the door. Brother Scipio enters the room and goes on Overwatch. Brother Leon enters the room, turns, and reveals the Gene Stealer. Since I revealed, I choose the facing. Brother Leon also shoots in his turning action and kills on a 5 or better. An assault cannon bullet is spent, the shot makes it and kills the Gene Stealer. Another room has been secured. Brother Omnio enters the center east room and reveals another Gene Stealer. His turning includes a shot, needing a 6 to kill. The shot fails. I spend a command point to shoot again, I get the sustained fire bonus and kill the Gene Stealer. I spend another command point to move Brother Omnio out of the doorway. Brother Noctis moves up and shoots at the door. He needs a 6 and makes it. Another door is destroyed. Brother Noctis moves up one more square and goes into Overwatch. Brother Goriel follows up behind Brother Noctis. Sergeant Gideon moves up toward Brother Leon. A reinforcement blip arrives at the northwest corner of the ship. The reinforcement blip chooses to lurk outside the ship. The blip in the northwest corner also stays. The blip in the north room heads to the center corridors. One blip in the corridor chooses to stay, and the other moves east. The blip in the northeast hallway stays. The blip in the center east hallway heads to the room with Brother Omnio. Overwatch tokens are removed. The command point token is revealed, and we move on to the next turn. Round 7. I pull a new command token and place it on the mission status display. Brother Omnio turns and moves to shoot the door. The first shot does not damage the door. He spends his 4th AP to shoot again and misses. I spend a command point to shoot again, but he still misses. Brother Noctis moves up to the room and goes on Overwatch. Brother Leon moves to the center of the room. He turns and shoots at the door. This spends a bullet. I need a 5 or better and make it. The door is destroyed. Brother Leon spends his last AP to move and shoot at the far north door. This costs another bullet. The shot destroys the next door. Sergeant Gideon continues to follow behind Brother Leon. Brother Goriel moves up a square and goes on Overwatch. Brother Scipio moves up and goes on Overwatch. Sergeant Lorenzo moves to the center of the room. Brother Dano moves up 4 squares, and I spend 2 command points to put him on Overwatch. Brother Zale moves up 4 squares. A reinforcement arrives at the northwest port of entry. The blip in the northwest corner reveals to be one Gene Stealer. The model moves up 1 square and waits in the corner. The lurking blip enters the northwest hallway. The blip in the center corridor reveals us 3 Gene Stealers. They stay where they are. The next blip moves back to the north room and stays. The other blip in the center corridor stays. The blip in the northeast hallway stays. The new reinforcement blip enters the north hallway. The blip in the center east hallway reveals 2 Gene Stealers. The first Gene Stealer opens the door. In reaction, I spend a command point for Brother Omnio to shoot. He needs a 6 to hit, but misses. The Gene Stealer moves up again 2 squares and triggers Overwatch on Brother Noctis. He needs a 6 to hit, but the shot misses. The Gene Stealer moves up again and triggers Overwatch with sustained fire, but Brother Noctis misses again. The Gene Stealer attacks Brother Omnio. The Gene Stealer wins combat, and Brother Omnio is ripped apart. This triggers Overwatch on Brother Noctis, who manages to avenge his brother in arms. The next Gene Stealer enters the room and turns to face Brother Noctis. This triggers Overwatch, and Brother Noctis destroys another Gene Stealer. Overwatch tokens are removed, and and the command point token is revealed. We move on to the next turn. Round 8. I pull a new command token and place it on the mission status display. Brother Dano moves 4 squares up and spends a command point to turn and shoot at the Gene Stealer. He needs a 6 to hit. The shot misses. I spend another command point to shoot again with a sustained fire bonus. The shot still misses. I spend another command point to shoot, and this time Brother Dano kills the Gene Stealer. The blip is now revealed as 3 Gene Stealers. I choose to face them away from me. I spend a command point to shoot at a Gene Stealer, and it misses. Brother Zale moves up 3 squares. Sergeant Lorenzo spends 2 AP to move backwards, then goes into Overwatch. Brother Scipio also moves back and goes into Overwatch. Brother Noctis moves up 2 squares and goes into Overwatch. Brother Goriel moves up 2 squares and goes into Overwatch as well. Brother Leon moves up 4 squares. Sergeant Gideon moves up 4 squares. The Gene Stealers gain a reinforcement which is placed in the northeast sector. The Gene Stealer in the northwest corridor turns around to face Brother Dano. He moves up 1 square and then attacks. We tie for combat. The Gene Stealer attacks again and kills Brother Dano. The Gene Stealer then moves up toward Brother Zale. The next Gene Stealer turns around in the hall and moves up. The last Gene Stealer moves to keep some space between him and his friend. The Gene Stealer in the central corridor moves in line of sight of Brother Scipio. An Overwatch shot is taken, needing a 6. It misses. The Gene Stealer moves up again, and I take another Overwatch shot with the sustained fire bonus. The shot still misses. The Gene Stealer moves up again, and the Overwatch shot misses. The Gene Stealer moves up again. This time the Overwatch shot misses, and the gun jams. The Gene Stealer's 5th AP is spent attacking Brother Scipio, who is brutally killed. The additional Gene Stealers in the central corridor move toward the room with Sergeant Lorenzo. The blip in the central corridor reveals 2 Gene Stealers. The first one enters line of sight of Brother Noctis, who fires an Overwatch shot that kills the Tyrannid. The remaining Gene Stealer enters line of sight and is also shot at. This time Brother Noctis misses. The Gene Stealer moves up again, and Brother Noctis misses, and the gun jams. The Gene Stealer moves up 2 more squares, and with his final AP attacks Brother Noctis. They tie for combat. A blip in the north room enters the central corridor. The other blip in the north room does the same. The reinforcement blip enters the board and heads west. The last blip also heads west. We remove Overwatch tokens and jams and reveal the command token. We move on to the next turn. Going into round 9, Space Marines officially cannot win.
Yes.
So that leaves us only with either a draw or a Gene Stealer win, which I can't let happen. I pull a new command token and use my Sergeant ability to redraw the token. The new token is placed on the mission status display. Sergeant Lorenzo opens fire on the first Gene Stealer. He needs a 6 and misses. He fires again with the sustained fire bonus and still misses. He uses his 3rd AP to fire again and finally kills the Gene Stealer. He spends his last AP and uses a command point to set himself on guard. Brother Goriel moves up around Brother Noctis and fires at the Gene Stealer. He misses. Brother Goriel uses his last AP to fire again, but he still misses. Brother Noctis fires at the Gene Stealer, needing a 6. He misses. He fires again with a sustained fire bonus, but still misses. The 3rd AP shot hits and kills the Gene Stealer. Brother Leon moves up 2 squares and goes on Overwatch. Sergeant Gideon moves up 2 squares as well. Brother Zale shoots the heavy flamer into the Gene Stealer in the hall. I need a 2 or better to kill, and the Gene Stealer dies. A reinforcement blip arrives outside the North Hall. A Gene Stealer moves to attack Sergeant Lorenzo. His Sergeant bonus allows him to add 1 to his dice roll. His Power Sword lets me force the Gene Stealer to reroll 1 die. I make the Gene Stealer reroll the 6, and my die value is 4, so we tie for combat. The Gene Stealer attacks again, and this time, Sergeant Lorenzo kills the Gene Stealer. The next Gene Stealer moves to attack the Sergeant. I make the Gene Stealer reroll the 6, then I reroll my die, which results in a 5 and kills the next Gene Stealer. The first blip in the center corridor reveals 1 Gene Stealer. It activates and moves toward Brother Noctis and attacks. He kills the mighty Space Marine. The next blip in the central corridor reveals 3 Gene Stealers. 1 moves towards Sergeant Lorenzo. The next 2 move into the center east room. The blip in the northeast hallway heads toward the north room. The next blip does the same. The new reinforcement blip moves toward the north room. The 2 Gene Stealers in the northwest hallway stay where they are. We remove the heavy flamer template, the guard token, and Overwatch tokens from the board, then reveal the command token. We move on to the next turn. Round 10. A new command token is pulled and placed on the mission status display. Brother Goriel shoots at a Gene Stealer. He needs a 6 and misses. He shoots again with sustained fire and kills the Tyrannid. He uses his last 2 AP to go on Overwatch. Brother Leon moves up and turns to face the center east room, then goes on Overwatch. Sergeant Gideon moves up slightly. Sergeant Lorenzo shoots at the Gene Stealer and manages to kill him. He then goes on Overwatch. Brother Zale moves up 2 squares and shoots the heavy flamer into the center of the hallway to prevent the Gene Stealers from moving in. There are no more reinforcements, and the Gene Stealers need to kill 1 more Space Marine to win. The first one moves toward Brother Goriel, who fires an Overwatch shot that kills the Tyrannid. The next Gene Stealer moves up, triggering an Overwatch shot, which misses. The Gene Stealer continues to move up, triggering another Overwatch shot with sustained fire. This kills the Gene Stealer. A blip moves from the north room into the central corridor. The next blip from the north room moves into the central corridor as well. The last blip follows behind the others. The last 2 Gene Stealers don't move. The heavy flamer template and Overwatch tokens are removed. We reveal the command point token and move to the next turn. Round 11. A new command token is pulled and placed on the mission status display. Brother Zale activates and shoots another heavy flamer shot into the corner. Sergeant Lorenzo spends 4 AP to move backwards twice, and spends 2 command points to go on Overwatch. Brother Goriel spends 3 AP to move to where he can see the hallway ahead. He spends his last AP and a command point to go into Overwatch. Brother Leon moves ahead 2 squares and goes on Overwatch. Sergeant Gideon moves up 1 square and goes on guard. A blip reveals 3 Gene Stealers. They start swarming the Space Marine Sergeant. The first moves up and triggers Overwatch, which misses. The Gene Stealer continues forward and triggers another Overwatch shot. This time, the Tyranid is killed. The next Gene Stealer moves up and triggers Overwatch. The shot hits and kills the model. The next Gene Stealer moves up and triggers Overwatch. This nails the Gene Stealer first time and kills him. The next blip reveals 3 more Gene Stealers. The first one moves up and triggers Overwatch. This time, the Sergeant misses. The Gene Stealer moves again, triggering Overwatch with a sustained fire bonus. This kills the Gene Stealer. The next Gene Stealer moves up and triggers Overwatch. This time, the shot misses and the gun jams. The Gene Stealer moves up again, and in response, I spend a command point to remove the jam. The Gene Stealer closes in, and Sergeant Lorenzo fires another Overwatch shot, needing a 6. The shot misses. The next Gene Stealer hurries up to follow his friend. The last blip reveals 2 Gene Stealers. The 2 revealed models follow the other Gene Stealers in the hopes of being able to take down Sergeant Lorenzo by the next turn. The Heavy Flamer template and Overwatch tokens are removed. The turn counter is revealed, and we move on to the next turn. Round 12. A new command token is pulled and placed on the mission status display. Brother Zale lays down another fire template in the corner. Sergeant Lorenzo is sick of these Gene Stealers on this ship and opens fire. The first shot misses. The next shot gets the sustained fire bonus but still misses. The next AP kills the Gene Stealer. Lorenzo spends another AP to shoot at the next Gene Stealer. This shot misses. I spend a command point to fire again and gain the sustained fire bonus, but this shot misses too. I spend another AP to fire again, but this shot misses too. I spend another command point to fire again, and the Sergeant manages to kill the only Gene Stealer who could reach him in melee. None of the other Gene Stealers can make it to Lorenzo or any other Space Marine before the game ends. This game has ended in a draw. Alright, so just to kind of review some thoughts on the game, as far as you played the Gene Stealers, and
Yep.
I played the Space Marines, I do think this is an interesting game in that it's really hard for either side to just win. There's like this very narrow margin of victory for either side and this huge swath of draw. I know in the beginning, the Space Marines started off really strong. I was rolling 6s like a boss.
I just kind of hid in the back, you know, have my Gene Stealers tucked around in little corners, waiting for the Space Marines to come up and hopefully meet their end.
Yeah. Mostly you were shot in the face. I
Mostly.
killed a lot of doors. So many doors. I think like 10 or 12 doors. That was my real victory.
You were definitely better at killing doors, it seemed like, than killing some Gene Stealers, but...
Wow. So, interestingly enough, yes, you don't have to kill a lot of Space Marines. I think after two is all I can afford to lose. Once I
Yep.
lost my third one, happened in round 8, which was a very tragic end for me. After that, then it was all up to the Gene Stealers to try and win. And you had a really strong game at that point, and I felt like I was getting really overrun by it, so...
Right, yeah, there definitely is a large gap in which, you know, the Space Marines lose and the Gene Stealers had to pick that up, that win, and there's just so many Space Marines you have to kill. It seems really quite difficult at that point.
You have to get down to 4.
Down to 4, yeah.
And so I think you were 1 away by the end, but I wasn't gonna let you have it.
No.
Because you think, well, you were running away the first half of the game. I just sat and turtled the last half of the game. And so, I don't know, it's kind of awkward, right? Because you're like, well, I'm not going to let you win, so.
Right.
So yeah, overall pretty fun for first mission, right?
It was, yeah.
Beachhead out of 16 missions, so it'll be cool to see how our game progresses because I think it's a whole storyline you follow through. So yeah, pretty good about the game? Feel
Pretty
good
good.
about it?
I liked it.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to know what you guys all think of it. Feel free to leave a comment in the description or in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to stay up to date with all things Wargamergirl, you can follow me on Facebook. And if you'd like to help support my videos, you can do so on Patreon. Thanks for watching.